In this video, we're going to talk about type families, type sizing, and an introduction to type spacing. Type families is the term for a typeface or font that has been designed with several different styles associated with it. Not every typeface or font is designed that way. If you go to some of the free font websites and download a font there, it will probably not have different styles associated with it. It will just have the one. And so not every font does. But a font like Helvetica certainly, and certain of the other ones that you're using in the course, will be given through the program, such as InDesign or Illustrator, Photoshop, with different styles you can use with it. And you can see that I have typed this up in Helvetica here, and in my InDesign character panel in the styles drop down you can see the different styles that have been given to me to use, and I've set the words in the style. Okay, you'll notice that they use the term oblique and not italic, but it's the same, it means the same thing. Now, in other programs on other computers and from other companies that have released Helvetica, because different type companies can release the same font under their name, you can find different styles and they are named differently. So you might come across a Helvetica italic, which is the same as oblique. You might see additional styles such as extended or condensed or combinations of those. You might see an outline version. You might see an underlined version. If you see a style that's called book, it's considered the same as regular or medium. If you see a style called black, that means an extra heavy bold. So we have these available to us here in InDesign, but there are other ones out there. And Helvetica is a type style or typeface. Since it's so popular, it has a very large type family. So that is basically what that term means. Type sizing. Okay, type is sized in a unit called points. Okay, the size of the letters and the spacing between lines in a paragraph are measured in this unit of points. 72 points equals 1 inch. So it's quite a small unit here. The name, by the way, for the spacing between lines, it's called line spacing, but it's also more commonly known as the term leading. Okay, and you will see this term a lot. It's a very common type term, and you're going to be working a lot with it when you are setting your type. Here I've set some of the typefaces you're using in the course in the different faces and also in different sizes, and you can see how quickly they can get large. Now, since 72 points equals 1 inch, this Helvetica, if it were printed out, since it's 72 points, it would be just about an inch tall. Not exactly, but pretty close. And the Frutiger, being half the size, point-wise, would be about a half an inch tall. Generally speaking, for good body copy readability, 12 points is the default size. Anything from 10 to about 13 points is good for body copy. Once you start getting into these sizes, anything above 14 points is really better for headlines. Okay. Lastly, we have some information here on type spacing. Now, here is the same paragraph set in 4 different specifications, as we say. They're all set in Minion Pro, in the font Minion Pro, but they're set with different specifications. This one is set in 12 on 15, and that means the type is 12 points high, and there's 15 points of leading in this paragraph. This is pretty readable, because usually there is a few more points of leading set than the type size. Here we have one that is something called set solid, where the leading measurement is the same as the type size. This can sometimes be readable, although it's not quite as nice and easy to read as the first one. This is smaller, it's still readable, 11 on 12. It's okay because there's more leading than the type size. And this one has what we call very deep leading. It is 10 points tall, and it is set on 16 points of leading. And this is nice because the type is so small, we give it the breathing room of the deep leading so that we can read it more easily. Advertising copy generally uses that trick to make things nice and readable. To finish up, I'm going to give you 2 quick definitions here, which you will see time and again. They're called kerning and tracking. Kerning is the spacing between two characters, and here in this word away, we see that there's a fair amount of space between the A and the W. A little bit too much here. So to change that, we're going to adjust the kerning. We put the I-beam here in our text tool right between the two letters, and in our character panel, this window here is the one that we adjust. And the default, by the way, is 0. And you see how widely spaced that is? That's really not that attractive. So we want to change it and make it smaller. And -50 seems to be a good kerning setting for that word to make it look more even. Okay. Certainly you can type any number you want in the box. You don't have to stick to the drop down numbers. You can type anything you want in there. Okay. The last thing is called tracking. Tracking is the spacing between multiple letters, and you can track whole paragraphs if you want to do some copy fitting, make something shrink or stretch to fit. So you select the whole word and you use this drop down on this side, and it's the same principle. You can tighten up your tracking with negative numbers, you can increase it with the positive numbers, and again you can type in whatever setting you want. So basically that is an overview, very quick one, of families, spacing, and kerning and tracking. Thanks.